Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode, another playthrough, actually, for Gaming Cats and Dogs.
Woohoo!
We're playing on the Wii U, and we're playing Child of Light.
Oh, it's so good.
So yeah, at the time of this recording, we have a first impressions coming in the woodworks for Child of Light. You really liked this game.
I did. So this was my first RPG, so that I got to play.
Mm-hmm. And you warmed up to it a lot quicker than most of the platformers that I've had you try out.
Yeah, I think it's because I'm not a good jumper, and it's like, platformer games are all jumping, and with me not understanding a lot about the controls yet, or having control on the controls, jumping is pretty much a no-go for me, which means I absolutely suck at platformer games.
Right.
Whereas this one, it's like, if I don't jump well enough, it's fine. Like, she's not in danger.
Yeah, you even get wings early on.
Yeah, like,
You can fly through most of the area.
I think the first session of playing, she ended up with wings. By the time I was done, like, playing the very first time, she had wings, so it's like, oh, cool, I can't jump, it's alright. We'll just fly there. So,
Right. So, for most of the speaking cutscenes, we're gonna keep quiet and let the cutscenes play, unless we get copyright strikes, then we'll talk over them. But shh, the movie's starting.
Child, tuck yourself in bed and let me tell a story of Lemuria, a long-lost kingdom, and a girl born for glory. In Austria was a crown land ruled by a duke. Aurora was his daughter, child of a duchess mysterious, beloved by her father. He raised the girl alone. They were rarely apart, till the duke felt lonely and misplaced his heart. It was the Great Friday before Easter 1895. Players performed for the Duke, his new bride at his side. That night, Aurora went to sleep. The fire burned down low. She caught a chill that spread. Her skin was cold as snow. At dawn they found her, vacant, Aurora's light gone out. Her father wept and pleaded, but there could be no doubt. For all intents and purposes, Aurora was dead. And yet, once upon a time, she awoke in a strange land instead.
And so our story begins.
I love that. I love that opening.
It reminds me of Beauty and the Beast. How it's kind of like stained glass told
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And I love the charm. Like, some people find it annoying, but I love it because, like, it stands out from the rest of the RPGs and fantasy video games. Everything's told in rhyme.
Yeah. Which, you're right, it is, like, kind of little kiddish, but I think it is. It's charming. It, like, I play like a child, so you know what? I want to have fun like a child with this rhyme scheme,
So this was a game made from a smaller team in Ubisoft Montreal. Ubisoft makes bigger games. Like, one of their biggest titles is Assassin's Creed.
Oh!
They're responsible for Assassin's Creed. In the heyday, they were responsible for Rayman.
Okay.
Yeah, they were the originators of Rayman.
I know some of those words.
Yeah, I know some of those words. Here we go. We start right off in Chapter 1, The Girl and the Firefly, and it's like a living painting.
It just, the artwork, I can't stop. It is so pretty.
Don't stop. Like, start. Like, this is your thoughts. Tell everyone, like, what it is you love about the art style that, like, grabs you.
Okay, so, I mean, just while he's playing here, a little bit about me. I actually went to art school. I know. Before y'all judge me, I know. We're all young and dumb and make mistakes. But I am very passionate about art, and, like, the style here is just, it's so pretty. Because you have, like, these rather sketchy looking features, like the trees. You can see, like, harsh lines in the trees where you want branches to be without putting the branches in.
Yeah.
But everything is, like, watercolored. It's very opaque. Like, it's so pretty. And then you have Aurora, like, the style that she's painted in, she pops out of everything because she has this bright pink hair and yellow, but everything around her is very, like...
And her hair is so alive. It doesn't
yes,
just wave.
it flows.
It whips
like,
around.
It's such an interesting animation with an interesting art style that I'm slightly obsessed with it. But even just the colors, like, everything is very dark and, like, gray and green and blue. And it's very, almost like she's underwater. Like, I got that vibe immediately. Like, I had to think for a second, is she underwater?
Yeah.
Because her hair is flowing and then with the colors. But I did find out she is not underwater when I ran through a puddle.
Would you like to read for Aurora and I'll read for Nicholas?
Sure. Who spoke?
I did. Shake the dew from your eyes before mold grows. That's common sense.
A firefly that speaks advice. My supper must have been too dense.
Food sounds good, but I am lost. Ever heard of an Aurora?
Why, sir, she is me.
Both sir and she, a split aura? Perhaps you are some kind of flora?
Cease your foolishness at once. I am Aurora, I am she.
Oh, why didn't you say so? Follow me. A lady waits. Hair long as a forest stream, with skin like moths and gleaming eyes.
You clicked before I could read it.
I might have to make note of that for future runs. Pace yourself and reading through the dialogue.
Got a little bit click happy.
And like, I love the giant in the background.
That's
Wonderful
another.
foreshadowing.
Oh god, it's just the artwork. Man, the layers. So you can tell everything is very flat. It almost has like a pop-up book effect.
Okay.
Where you can tell like the trees are flat. They don't spend time to try and make things look three-dimensional. Mm-hmm. They're designed and drawn to be flat, but they're layered with things in front, and then flat behind, and it creates like that.
Yeah, it looks like there's like 3 or 4 layers.
Yeah,
there's like a front layer. No, wait, there's the foreground layer, which we complained about in Aladdin.
Yeah.
But it works a little better here because you don't have to focus so much on platforming.
Exactly. You don't have to jump on anything, or like it's not
Time your
covering
jumps,
something, that you need.
Then there's the middle layer that the character's on. Then there's the back layer. Then there's the far like background layer.
Right, and it's like
the environment in the back.
I love that effect.
Trapped. The door is barred.
A scepter round, a translucent sphere. Clear glass, the answer.
Whoa, I barely know you.
Do it and I'll show you.
Speed it up. Come on, step it up.
Okay, I was the kid that read the paragraphs ahead so that I didn't mess it up. You gotta give me a second.
Alright, so this is like one of the few puzzles you can do. Most of the puzzles are light-based. You use an igniculus to light up the puzzles.
Yeah.
And this is basically like a little like appetizer to like what Zelda has in store for you. So I'm hoping you like some of the puzzles in Child of Light and some other games we'll be playing, because this is the kindergarten for the SAT that Zelda has in store for you.
Well, I really enjoy kindergarten so far, so we'll see if I pass the SATs this time.
All right.
Lady of the Forest.
The sword and the stone.
Oh god, it's so cute. I love that she like tips over every time she like raises the sword up too high, and she's like, this thing weighs more than
me.
It's
like, whoop, it's a bit heavy. But we already have our first battle. And this battle has like a very unique mechanic. Like normally it's just like you go, the enemies go, and it bases on like the speed stats of your character, or there's like a formation bar that shows like who goes next. This has a timeline to which you have a waiting period, then you have a casting period. Casting period has to go with like who goes first, and you can actually interrupt the other enemy. But enemies can also interrupt you.
I absolutely love that, especially if you're dumb like me. Okay, I need
You have to stab at yourself with that, but fine.
Well, I know my faults. I'm good at other things. But I just think it's really cool because I don't know a lot about video games. This is the first RPG I've ever played. Mm-hmm. So battling like this, and if you watch my first impression, I kind of cover it in there as well.
Okay.
But it's so helpful because like now I can see. So I see the stats when I pull up all of her information and everything like that. But to see it play out in action, like she is faster than that monster.
Yes.
She moves faster than that monster. So now it's like you can tell me all you want, hey, do this, but until I see it, it's like, oh, it slaps you in the face.
Okay.
So it really helps me understand her different skills and, things like that because I can see it.
How do you feel about having the option to choose your own skills rather than you gained a level, here's the skill you get? Like, do you feel like there's one way that does it right, or do you feel like there's pros and cons to each approach?
Well, I mean, this is, again, it's the first time I've played it, so I feel like because of that, I'm going to have a bias.
By the way, I love that foreshadowing of, the queen in the background.
That is really cool.
The really cool silhouette.
But I really like the idea of getting to choose your own skills because it's like a lesson. It's if you choose wrong, like you have to live with that until you get to choose again.
Yes.
But you can also kind of see what you're working towards. So if there's like a really cool skill and you're 3 away from it, yeah, you're gonna work to get that one. So I really like that. I think it's cool for strategizing. And which is something I'm not good at yet, but I am catching on to the ideas of how to strategize.
Yeah, how to have the right strategy for the right opponent.
Yeah. So if you ever want to feel really, really smart, play Risk with me. Because that'll make you feel smart.
I don't like playing games that go on until 4 in the morning. I'm just like, babe, you win, I forfeit. No.
Okay, that's the bad part about being bad at games, but also really competitive.
They don't last long. This game goes until 4 in the morning. Not with me playing.
Not with me.
We'll hit midnight, then I'll just croak and be like, whoop, there went all the supplies.
Oh, you've Cinderella'd on me. I think that's really cool, too, that Igniculus, slows down your opponents. That he's more than just, this little light that follows you.
Yeah, he does more than, aid in the story. He aids in combat as well.
Yeah.
He can slow enemies. He can collect these orbs to replenish his meter. And if you have him shine a light on the characters, he heals them. And as you gain higher levels, he heals more.
Yeah. I think it's interesting because he heals the characters that he's with. So it's like, you put him over Aurora, and he heals her, but if you put him over the enemy, he slows them down.
Yes.
So he is a very helpful hand.
Enemies like to hide in the darkness, but if you shine a light on them and approach them from behind, you get a surprise strike, which means you automatically go first.
Okay.
You get the advantage.
So I love that they're weird little grasshopper things.
Yeah. Yeah, the beastery in this game ranges from your very standard fantasy creatures to some very unique looking flora and fauna.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely I noticed that. I really like them. Some of them I don't like so much just because they are challenging, but that's a part of the game. It wouldn't be fun if it was too easy.
Exactly.
Oh, look, a chest. What's in the box?
Magic potion.
A magic potion, you say? I'm obsessed with the sound her feet make.
The soundtrack to this game is really good as well. It's somber for the most part and very quiet, but it gets real beautiful. Bombastic, triumphant, and foreboding when it comes to the combat. And most of it is piano.
I just think all of the details they put into this game, I have no idea why it's not more popular.
It was made by a smaller team, and it didn't have big marketing behind it. It just had a couple trailers.
It's just such a shame because it
Also, it's short, and short games kind of don't have that lasting value.
I mean, in a way, yes, I understand that, but I mean, if marketed differently, market it towards someone like me, it is short, but that means
it was a smaller project that I think did well, but it didn't gain fame.
Yeah.
It has its cult following, and everybody who plays it for the most part loves it. Just compared to your Call of Duties, your Grand Theft Autos, and no, be nice. You haven't even played any of them.
I have zero interest in them.
Oh, that's fine. I own 0 of them, so Lucky you!
Okay, guys, a little bit again about me. I actually write different scripts on video games and just acquired some Call of Duty work, and I hate it. I'm sure it's a wonderful game. I can see like the positive sides of it and why people play it, but
It's
I mean,
just not for you.
okay, so it's a board game, but you can choose to play as a basketball. That gets on my nerves. I don't know why. It's just,
That's weird for me.
yeah, it's too weird.
Like, it doesn't seem like that's part of the actual game. That's just like a special feature.
Yeah, but like you can play and kill people as a basketball.
Huh.
It doesn't have thumbs. How does it hold a gun?
Never stopped me before. And like right here I'm realizing, oh, that fountain's in the foreground.
Yeah.
I can jump over it.
Yeah, you were like, fight me.
Fight back, you coward! Fight back! Yeah.
See, that's another thing I really like about the timeline and how the battles are set up here is like you have time. You have time to go through your stuff.
Yes.
You know, whereas like some of the other games I've seen, I'm sure, you know, I'm positive once you get better at remembering what you have in your skill sets, it won't be as bad. But like, see, the battle's not still going on. Like, she's not being attacked while I'm trying to figure out like,
Right.
what am I supposed to use? Like, trying to figure out what the enemy is vulnerable to and seeing if I have it.
So you're more accustomed to turn-based combat
Yeah.
than like free-flowing combat.
Well, again, I haven't really played much,
That is true.
so I haven't experienced.
But so far, like you do have a liking to turn-based,
Yes.
even though you haven't tried like free-flowing combat.
Right.
Turn-based does have like a very nice perk for you because there's that time to like sit back, take a step, and be like, okay, I understand. Like I have to make a strategy here before I go out,
Right.
And they're not gonna
And
attack
it gives you a
while
little
I'm
bit of
thinking,
time. So
while I'm planning.
that's why I think this game is so good for beginners and for new people, just because it gives you time. Like there's no rush. So if you had to stop right here before this battle with the gargoyle guy, is he a gargoyle? He looks like a gargoyle.
This is one of the few RPGs that just doesn't have a name. Like usually when you select a target, it gives its name. It's a nice piece of the lore.
He
It tells you
looks
what the
like
monster
a gargoyle. He
This
screams.
game doesn't do that.
His scream is terrifying, and I did not expect him to have like that scream.
Like a lot of these
But-
monsters have like different names.
Yeah, but I mean, like playing through it, it gives you time to learn, to understand. I mean, whenever I was playing through the first time, I forgot to stop and like update my skills
Yeah.
for hours. Like, we played for hours and I
Yeah.
didn't update any of my skills. I had like, what, 12 skills?
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh shoot, I have to go in and do that. But it's a learning process.
Yeah.
And I didn't die because I didn't do it. I just didn't have the extra skills yet.
Yeah, I'll be honest, that's impressive. Some games, if you're not spending your points, that's why you're dying.
Yeah. Now, I did die because I forgot to use a revival potion.
Yeah.
Like a health healing potion, which I had like 13 of.
Oh,
And
damn.
I
There you
still
go.
died. And I was like, well, that's embarrassing.
All right.
But yeah, I think that this is a great game for beginners. And
So there we go.
I'm excited.
She
that
loves the
this was my
game.
first,
A
yeah.
great game for beginners. If you haven't tried it yet, please do. And we hope you stick around because we have some more Child of Light coming up next.
Light of my world.